So Sausage Party is a new rated R animated movie directed by Greg Tiernan. It has the voice acting of Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, Jonah Hill, James Franco, Danny McBride. Basically the whole Seth Rogen crew is here. And Edward Norton. So the basic premise of this movie is that it's told through the eyes of food in a supermarket. And you have hot dogs, hot dog buns, tequila bottles, honey mustard jars, the whole gang is here. And the way that they view their world is that they are waiting in this supermarket to be taken to heaven, or the great beyond as they call it. And the chauffeurs to this great beyond is humans. So when they come into the store to buy this food, the food views it as them going to heaven. As we all know, that's not quite how it works out for them. You know, when I first heard about this movie, I thought it sounded like absolute trash, but then that first trailer had me on the floor dying. I'm a big fan of Seth Rogen. I like a lot of his humor, and a lot of the humor for a lot of the guys that show up in this movie to do voice acting. You know, this was a really great setup for a rated R animated movie. It's one of those premises that's so ridiculous that it just might work. Does it actually work on screen? To me, the first 15 minutes of this movie was absolutely hilarious, and it really picked up in the last half hour to give some of the biggest laughs I've had all year. But there's a really big lull in the middle of this movie that's mostly just driving the plot forward, showing what should be funny but isn't quite funny by the time you get there, because the main problem with this movie is that they hang a lot of the humor on this movie on whether or not you think it's going to be funny to see animated food cussing their asses off. And God, do they cuss their ass off. This movie is rated R as fuck. Sausage Party, rated R as fuck. Unfortunately, that beats the joke into the ground by about the half-hour mark. It's hilarious when you first see it, then as soon as you get about 20-30 minutes into the movie, it really gets old. You're like, okay, you're kind of numb to it by now. There's a lot of different elements to this movie. There's parts of a musical, there's a lot of plot points derived from Toy Story, there's parts of a war movie, there's parts of a horror movie, a lot of different things going on in Sausage Party. The trailer to this movie is actually a little bit misleading. It leads you to believe that you're going to walk in and you're going to be on the floor dying with laughter from start to finish. And that's really not how the movie is. There's a lot of satire thrown in, there's a lot of social commentary thrown in that I wasn't expecting, and some of it worked, the majority of it really didn't for me. You know, this is a movie where commentating on race relations and sexual orientations and political views and everything like that kind of slows down the momentum when you're trying to go to a movie to escape from all that. Speaking of social commentary, if you're easily offended, do not go see this movie. I think when they were writing the plot, they figured, you know what, we're probably going to offend one or two people, so let's just offend everyone. Like I said, the commentary in this movie leads to a few really good jokes, but a lot of it to me was just really out of place. Something else that was out of place in this movie to me was all the drug jokes. You know, it really didn't do anything new that we haven't seen in all the other Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jonah Hill movies before. They don't really do anything new with it. Now it's just a food item smoking a joint. To me, it was really thrown in there just because I feel like whenever Seth Rogen's in a movie, they gotta throw in a drug joke, like it's in his contract or something. The other thing that really didn't work for me was this fucking guy. Anytime he was on screen, I was totally pulled out of the movie. None of his jokes landed for me. The voice acting was really annoying. It wasn't for me. Guys, Sausage Party has a lot of great laughs. It's not a great movie. It's by no means perfect, but some of these laughs in this movie is some of the hardest that I've laughed in 2016. As a lot of you have already heard, yes, there's a scene at the end of this movie that is fucking gut-busting. The final scene in this movie is almost worth the price of admission alone. It went so far over the top, I couldn't believe what I was seeing on screen. In the end, it really comes down to whether or not you're a fan of Seth Rogen's movies or not. If you're not a fan of Seth Rogen, why are you even watching this review? If you are a fan of Seth Rogen, go ahead and give Sausage Party a shot. So for Sausage Party, I'm going to tell everybody to see it on Netflix. So what did you guys think of Sausage Party? Go ahead and comment below with your thoughts on the movie. Like and subscribe as always, and thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to check out some more of my stuff, click over here.